Alright, Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the great millstone, for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures. Salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing his word and truth and his sincerity and with charity. And this is going to be real quick and to the point. Apostle Tahar, as you can see, his channel here. Alright, what is the 666 mark? We know that to be the RFID chip. Alright, but he had put up two videos. I think this was about 20 hours ago, as it says here, and you can see the the fires breaking forth in all these places in Spain, in Beirut, and this is all a part of biblical prophecy. This is all a part of the times that we're living in. Okay, so with him reporting that, you can go here, and this is the Guardian. And it says, Chile protests, state of emergency declared in Santiago as violence escalates. And in the background, you can see the fires that they're ensuing. All right, the fires that they're starting. All right, because what? These are all a part of tokens to let us know that we are in the last days before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai comes back to this earth. I'm going to play this video. I'm going to see if it actually plays. And it always has to do with students rising up against their governments, according to what is the 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. And it's gonna get worse. Israelites, man.
Pero ya lamentablemente ya se ha masificado mucho. Los estudiantes cuando entran de golpe están haciendo una protesta que muchas personas que trabajamos no podemos dar. Entonces de alguna manera resulta representativa. Bueno, igual bueno que los jóvenes salgan a protestar porque subieron el pasaje, porque igual en vez de subir los sueldos están subiendo.
Alright, so with all this uprising, you're getting a picture of what's taking place on the earth, man. It says Chile protests, state of emergency declared in Santiago as violence escalates. President announces order in televised address after fair dodging protest by student in capital widens. A state of emergency has been declared in the Chilean capital after simmering protests against a rise in metro fares spilled out into widespread vandalism and violence fueled by rising cost of living pressures. And this is going to get increasingly worse, because the government is going to increase their dislike for the people, and the people are going to increase their dislike towards the government. That's according to 2nd Ezra, man. All right, they're not going to regard their kings or princes or any of these government officials or police officers or army officers or, etc., man, because this is all biblical prophecy. All right, and all these things are a sign of the Lord's coming. All right, let's get it real quick. And we go over these scriptures so much, and it's just people can't see it, man. You really need to understand that these are the tokens being shown to you, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, through the prophets, the men of the Lord. They're telling you the truth because they're reading out of the Lord's word. So if you go into the Bible app and you type Uproars, all right, let's go. We'll start here. This is 2nd Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And how are you going to measure the times? You're going to measure them with the tokens of the things happening on the earth, these situations, these scenarios that you're seeing being played out, all right, in real time across the planet. Okay, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, all right, these things that you're seeing, right along with the fires, right along with the uproars that you're seeing, right along with the rumors of war, right along with us waking up to this knowledge and teaching it and taking over, all right, this reality and being the narrator in this reality now. That's who the prophets are, man, because they're the mouth of the Most High, man. Verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. That's what the times that we're living in. The Most High is going to begin to visit this place. That's why they're seeing the chariot sightings. That's why you have the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans waking up to who they are, because we are in the end times. All right, and these are the things that you are supposed to use, these signs, these scenarios, and things taking place across the world as things to measure the time diligently in itself. All right, and the prophets out on the highways and byways, they're gonna let you know. They're gonna bring you to understanding through the Spirit of the Lord. 2 Ezra 9:3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, and we've had an abundance of those, and uproars of the peoples in the world. All right, so what you've seen are all these uproars of the people in the world, man. You have that in Chile, that's new. You have it in Spain. You have it in Beirut. All right, as the apostle posted here. You have it in France still, continuously. You have it in Ecuador, which is getting very bad in Ecuador. I'm just going to see if they have any video of that. Let's see here. Bear with me 1 second. All right, yep. And this is from The Guardian. This is The Guardian as well. This is Ecuador. Okay, so this movie is starting to play out This movie is starting to play out like Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said it would in the last end, man. It's gonna go. This place is gonna go out with a boom before the Lord comes, man. You people don't see this or feel this. You better get right if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, man. This is the times that you are. This is the grace period, man. All right, before all hell completely breaks out, and we see that the Lord is breaking forth with the uproars of the people that He spoke of, man. All right. Next is gonna be all out and chaos. All right. Soon they're gonna be these cops in all these different places around the world. They're gonna be allowed to shoot and kill these people soon, man. If this continues, and that's prophecy.
Gasolina y el diésel necesitamos trabajar y nos duele. A los ricos perdonan y a los pobres nos sacan. Por esa razón estamos nosotros aquí para defender lo nuestro. Nada más. Esa es.
All right, now let's get this word uproar real quick, just so you people understand. All right, uproar. Uproar, a loud and impassioned noise or disturbance, a public expression of protest or outrage, and that's what we're seeing, man. Okay, you're seeing a public example of outrage in these situations, man.
Tenemos que levantar hasta que solucione este problema. Vamos a levantar, no vamos a dejar todo, vamos a levantar hasta que firme, hasta que baje la gasolina, todo tenemos que levantar.
Remember what they said, we all need to rise up. Let me get this real quick, because they're not going to regard these, it's not going to be any regard for these government officials pretty soon. That's why they're going to be allowed and given the green light to go ahead and shoot and kill these people with actual live ammunition, man. This is 2 Ezra. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. I'm going to start at 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Because eventually these people, all right, are going to start killing each other. All right, eventually these people are going to receive weapons. These people already have weapons, and eventually they're going to start using them on the government. They're going to start using them against each other. All right, and this is all going to start to break forth pretty soon, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the Most High move. We're seeing the Most High prophecies come to life, like it says in, what does it say, in Isaiah 55? None of my words shall come back void. All right, but they shall accomplish everything, roughly paraphrasing. 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men. All right, let's get that word sedition, and that's what we're seeing. All right, this is going into the race wars that are coming too. All right, all these things, all this is culminating, all this is unfolding right in front of our eyes, man. But then you got so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans still sleep, still want to be a part of this world. Well, guess what? You continue to be a part of this world, you're going to be taken, and you're going to become a casualty of this world. All right, let's get the definition of sedition. The definition of sedition is conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. And what is that? That's what we're seeing, man. That's what we're seeing, man. Rebelling against a state or a monarch. You people thought the Lord was lying? You people just looking at us for face value because we're flesh. We're reading the words of the Lord. You have to understand that, man. Okay, these things were spoken of from the beginning to happen. Alright, and with this, that means that the Lord is going to return soon through these prophecies being shown. 2 Ezra 9 says, measure the time diligently in itself, man.
No vamos a dialogar. La medida que esté firme. No voy a cambiar de opinión. Que quede absolutamente claro.
And as you can see, the government officials, they took their stance. And the people are taking their stance. So they're in opposition. Sedition, conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch, and that's what's going to take place because they're both set on their own side. So it's going to be sedition amongst them. It's going to be sedition amongst other men out here, different races. You're gonna have this. All this is going to culminate and come to America, man. That's what we're going to ultimately experience soon. 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's what we're seeing. All right. In that next verse, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because what's going to be implemented soon through this martial law. You're not going to be able to go from city to city. They already have small spurts and small examples of this taking place in these different areas, man. They have curfews. That's the beginning of martial law. A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able to, and that is according to the scriptures, man. Because the Lord does not lie, man. Let's get this. It's all throughout the scriptures. Let's see. Let's type commotions. This is Luke 21 and 8, and he said, actually, let's start at 7. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? Which they're asking the Lord. The disciples were asking the Lord, when shall these things be? When shall be the sign of the ending? All right, and what the Lord's going to answer them. Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. So you're supposed to come after Yahweh Shai, who is the true son of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. Yahweh being the Most High's name, who the world ignorantly calls God, Bashem, which means in the name, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He is the anointed, and he is an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. All right, and these are the things he spoke of when he was on the earth. He gave these things to his disciples. All right, so when they came back in the reincarnation, which you have to understand, all right, that they could use these tokens and read the old writings, all right, from their past lives, Lord willing, were all those same prophets coming back, those same men of the Lord coming back. All right, we would use these things in this time to measure the time so we would know when the end is coming, and now we're seeing that it's coming. Luke 21 and 9, but when ye shall hear of wars, what are you hearing of? You're hearing the wars against what? There's wars over there in Syria versus Turkey. You have wars boiling up against Babylon the Great America and Russia and Turkey and Iran. All these things are all happening at the same time, which lets you know, all right, if you're measuring the time diligently, that we are in the end right before the Lord returns. All right. Right along with that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. You can read about it in Revelations, the 13th chapter. All these things are happening, man. Soon you people are going to be confounded, and you're not going to be able to avoid and deny the fact that we're telling the truth out there through the Spirit. That Lord willing, we're those men, that we are the prophets, man. Because we're saying all these things and reading them out of the Lord's book that you people claim that you know. All right. And as we read them, they're happening. They're coming to pass. Luke 21 and 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified. For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. So the end is not yet. All right. But we're seeing the end. All right. Manifest. Okay. Luke 21 and 9 and 10. Then said he unto me, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. That's what we're having as well, man. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. All right. You're seeing the chariots. All right. They're seeing things they've never seen in the skies, man. You're seeing a high amount of earthquakes take place. You're seeing famines and pestilences in South America, excuse me. Predominantly where Jake is, man. All right, and all around the world as well, man. Famines and pestilences are increasing. All right, and that's going to increase, and all this stuff is going to be culminated and is going to hit America, Babylon the Great, the worst, man. That's why the Lord is saving this place for last, man. Luke 21 and 11, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. All right. So we're telling the truth out there, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashar Yahweh Shai, man. All right. Let's get one more. This is, let's see here. Bear with me 1 second. This is back in 2nd Ezra 9, chapter 9 and verse 5. For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And that's what we're seeing. The end is being manifested before our eyes by way of us seeing these tokens and measuring the time diligently. That's why you have to take heed to the prophets. For you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you have to take heed to the prophets, man. Okay? 2nd Ezra 9 and 6. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder, and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works, which those men you see on the highways and byways, those are the men doing the works. And by faith, those are the men that have faith. Whereby ye have believed, those men believe, we believe because we teaching it. Shall be preserved from the said perils, which means that there's terrible and perilous times coming, according to the scriptures. Those men are going to be preserved. Those men's families are going to be preserved because we're teaching you and telling you about these things before they happen. That's what a prophet does. 8 shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Anybody that's not taking heed, let's see what's going to happen to you. Verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. All right, so these things are letting you know that there is destruction coming. There is chaos coming. All right. 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter. Let's get into here. 2nd Ezra 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them, the people that are not taking heed. These people all out here rioting and protesting. They're not taking heed to the truth. They're just going off their carnal instinct. But that's all of the will of the Most High to fulfill these prophecies. 2nd Ezra 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And that's what we're seeing, man. These people all out here, they're going to be destroyed by these government officials. All right, yes, some of these government officials are going to lose their life, but they're going to give the green light to these officers, these militias, these armies, to implement death and destruction and martial law according to the scripture. 2nd Ezra 15 we read earlier. All right, so Lord willing, those edifying call halal yum la Yahweh Bashim Yal Shai Bashim Kakudash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling on the scriptures. Citations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. The end is near. The end is here. All right, and the Lord is showing us these tokens to use to measure the time diligently in itself. Shalom and Abba Babal.